Well, good morning. It is currently Wednesday morning. I am in the arse end of nowhere. I'm in Cardiff somewhere. No, I'm not. I'm in Newport somewhere. I'm in the countryside on the top of a mountain, waiting for a phone call regarding my day. What I like to do today is I like to go and do something that I used to do quite a bit. I want to go through my Courier Exchange account for the jobs I've recently subbed out, show you the highest, the lowest quotes and what I sold them for, give you the van specs and everything, and see what your opinion is on it. Because I hear quite a lot saying there's low rates or there's no rates, there's no jobs. Prices vary, honestly, and I'll show you that now. Right, so as you can see, I've got my tablet here in front of me, I've got the CX open, got my old quotes on there that have previously come in. You can look at all your archive quotes. So, short wheelbase van, 144 miles. Let's have a look at quotes. So, lowest is 129 and the highest is 225. This job sold for 130. So, yeah, short wheelbase, 144 miles, 130. It's lower than £1 a mile, but it's still not too bad. Next, let's have a look. This is a medium wheelbase job, 134 miles. Lowest quote is 125. Highest quote is 195, and that actually sold for 125 because he was the first person to quote on the job, and I need it covering urgently. Also, if you're a shipper, I don't know if you've noticed yet, there's a new line that's come up on your quote saying verified drivers. So it's telling you how many verified drivers each company has. And as I'm looking at it now, most have 0. Next job. So this is a Luton curtainside job, 13 miles. The highest quote I got was 100 quid. The lowest quote I got was 50. And that sold for 65, and it sold for 65 because it's a company I've used all the time. I've used them quite a lot last year and a fair few times at the start of this year already. What's next? Next we've got a long wheelbase. Oof, this one did me no favours. So this is a long wheelbase job. It's 60 miles. It was collecting on the Friday, delivering on the Monday. And I really struggled to get quotes. I needed 2 vans for this and really struggled to get quotes for a while. So, in the first van, sold for 70 quid. The second van, I wanted to do a wait and return. So, obviously, 100, 150 quid maybe. 200 quid it sold for. And in the end, he was actually on site for 2 hours. So, obviously, you get an hour free. But he wanted an extra 75 quid. And that's what he demanded me put on before he did the return. So he had me by the balls. So I lost money on that job. Needless to say, won't be using them again. For some reason, my account just keeps jumping around. Wow, here we go. This one. So this was a 7.5 tonner that I booked. 195 miles. Cheapest quote was 335. Most expensive quote was 565, so quite a big difference there. And I sold it to a company for 400 quid. And their description of their vehicle in the quote notes says 5.2 metre bed, 2.2 metres wide, 2.5 high. There was stipulations it needed to take a pallet that was 2.3 metres high. So this is 2.45 high. Curtain side with tail lift, holds 8 UK pallets and can carry 1,800 kilos. So I thought, right, fair enough, I'll book them. And I arrived at their collection about 10 minutes after they'd left. And my customer went, I thought you were sending a 7.5 tonne. And I went, I did. He went, no, that was a 5 tonne maximum. I was like, what? Did you get a picture of it or anything? Did you get the reg? So he said, yeah, here's a picture. So I did a reg check on it. It's a 3.5 tonne Sprinter. It was a 2017 Mercedes Sprinter with an extra long, extra high rear end on it. So it could probably carry about 700 kilos. We loaded it with 1,500 kilos. Because they told me it was a 7.5 tonner that could take 1,800. So needless to say, I also won't be using them again. Let's have a look what's next. Right, so next we've got Luton, Curtainside, 31 miles. Lowest quote was 70 quid. Highest quote was 100 quid. It went for 70 because I've used them before. We've got a long wheelbase, 115 miles. Highest quote was 300 quid. Lowest quote was 115. And it actually sold for 120. And it sold for 120 for one reason only. It's because I answered the phone. So I always put e-quotes because I'm driving. Most of the time I can't hear people, but sometimes if people phone me, I don't know who they are, so I answer the phone. I answered the phone, he explained who he was, and he'd quoted on the job, and I said, right, what's your feedback like? He was like, yeah, it's good. I've got no negatives, which is not. I said, right, yeah, go and do the job. Give me 5 minutes, I'm driving, I'll get pulled over and I'll send it over to you. I had a look at his quote. It's just over £1 a mile for a long wheelbase, so he did it himself over, really. But yeah, that's how he got the job. Let's have a look what's next. Right, I had myself over on this one. So as you know, I put all my jobs in the WhatsApp group first and I put a price on it. And then I put it on CX because it was struggling to sell. Like, no one could do it, no one was getting back to me. So it's a medium wheelbase, 130 miles. And cheapest quote I got was 98 quid. The highest quote I got was 155. So the highest I got was 155. I sold it for 180 because I gave it to one of the lads out of the WhatsApp group because he messaged me just before I was about to sell it on CX. So yeah, did myself out of a bit of money there. That wasn't a good earner. Right, last one. Let's do this last one. It's got 14 quotes. So it's a small van, 170 miles. And the cheapest quote is 110. The most expensive quote was 270. So £160 difference there. And it sold for 145. No idea why, but it did. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. What do you think of those rates? Any of them any good? Any of them rubbish? What do you think of the quotes I was getting? Some, they vary a lot, don't they? There's a lot of cheap and then there's a lot of expensive. There's nothing in the middle. And it's in the middle where realistically it should be selling for. Well, people are either too cheap or demanding too much. The ones that are demanding too much, I'm assuming they're not doing very much, or they're doing the stuff that other people don't want to do. And the ones that are doing too cheap, I'm assuming they're running around like idiots because they've got loads of work. Everyone quoting in the middle. There doesn't seem to be anybody quoting in the middle. It's either high or low. Maybe quoting in the middle. Might get the job. Right. I hope that's an insight into subbing jobs on the CX and how much they're going for. Bye-bye, guys.